G'day and welcome back to the channel. On this episode we are going to be preparing Grace and my Hilux for the Rylstone Classic 2023. So folks, welcome back to the channel. As I said, on this episode we are doing the Rylstone Classic for 2023. This is going to be a three-part series, and the first part is going to be today. So today is Friday and it is currently about 10 to 11. We are heading out of here at midday and we're going to head up to Newcastle. We're going to meet a couple of subscribers, a couple of long lost mates, go out for a couple of beers, meet up with Evan, the director of the Rylstone Classic, and then start the race tomorrow morning at Edgeworth. So let's go through and have a look at the vehicles in which we're taking and what we've done. So this is my 2007 N70 Toyota Hilux. She is a more than capable rig with 2-inch lift kit, 275/70/17 tyres, a dual battery system including a solar panel on the roof. She is fully decked out and equipped for anything and everything that we're going to be throwing at it. This is primarily going to be used as our tow vehicle or our recovery vehicle. So obviously we don't want to be doing any towing, but you never know, we may have to help someone out and get them out of strife, or worst case scenario, we need to do some repairs. So being a mechanic, I've got a heap of tools, so let's go through the boot and see what we have. Alright, so in the boot we have pretty much everything we need to be able to do any sort of repair. So we have some miscellaneous stuff. There's a bucket of straps there just in case we need to be able to strap something down. We have some coolant, we have a bottle of waste oil. I have about 10 litres of 20W60, so if someone gets stuck I can help them top it up. Worst case, if they need to do an oil change, I do have an oil filter as well. I've got my little ARB compressor just under there. We have my socket set, we have a funnel, we have a variety of tools in there, including about 12,000 lights that I just love to collect. We got a drain tin as well, obviously if you need to drain something. We have a funnel to drain anything that we've drained into the bottles. Have some wiring connectors, all the small little fuses that we may need, a heap of spare parts including both the head gaskets for 1275 and the smaller engines. We got 3 jack stands, we got a Ryobi impact rattle gun. We also have a jerry can just in case we run out of fuel, a couple of rags and odds and ends just in there, just to make sure that if we do get stuck or someone else gets stuck, we can help them to the best of our ability. Now, the one good thing about my car is that it has a fridge inside there. Of course, inside the fridge, it is full of snacks. Most importantly, the beer down in there. So, that's this car. Obviously have more stuff in there. I've got an inverter as well, which I just plug in underneath the seat here. So there's a heap of wiring that I can just pull out and just have an Anderson plug, and that'll plug directly into there. That way I can charge it while I'm driving. Good thing about a dual battery system is that it doesn't have to be running in order for you to use the power. So I can charge something overnight, I can plug it in while we drive. If we're sitting there having dinner, whatever it may be, I can plug my phone in and it does absolutely everything I need it to. So here's Grace. She is a 1974 Leyland Australian built classic mini clubman. She's fitted with an 1100, a straight cut gearbox, and a heap of new parts. So over the last couple of days I've gone through and done a heap of repairs and additives in which I've needed to do to be able to get this thing on the road and ready for the Rylstone 2023. Such things include new exhaust system. So instead of it being made up of 13 different pipes and everything just, you know, not going together very well, I went and took the time to do that. I did also replace a set of rose joints at the front lower control arms as well prior to the rally, just to see how they go. So I'm going to give some feedback on those as we drive. So far I've driven it a couple of Ks, I guess. I've went and got some fuel before and it seems to be going really well. She drives nice, she actually drives straight, which is an absolute blessing. Now, one thing that I did also install are some tyre pressure monitors. This is from Oricom, so a really good company in which we buy a lot of stuff. As you can see, I do have a massive Oricom aerial fitted to the N70. Now, inside we have a heap of paperwork, which I'll go through later. We have the Oricom tyre pressure monitoring. So it not only shows the tyre pressures, but also shows the tyre temperatures. So it's something really good to keep in mind, especially if you're doing something like drag racing, you're doing any type of racing, you really want to be on top of what you're doing, what your tyre pressure is doing. It can give you an indication as to maybe one wheel bearing is starting to seize, there's brakes that are starting to heat up, they're overheating, whatever the case may be. So it gives you a really good indication as to how the car is actually running. Now, I've also got some Dynamat on the roof. Not sure if I've showed you guys that before, but hey, that's what I've done just to quiet it down. As you can see, the seats, now we've spoken about the seats before, and the newest addition, how good is this? I got the seats reupholstered in the same material that these seats are. They've even got the same cross sections at the front here as what they have at the back. Super impressed, and I cannot thank Dave from Top Stitch enough for doing this. So I gave him a bit of a deadline. I kind of threw him under the bus and said, hey man, like, I need this done. Can you get it done before the Rylstone? He said, when's that? And I said, the end of this week. And I gave them to him on Monday. He gave them back to me yesterday afternoon, literally at 5 p.m. on Thursday afternoon. And this guy just went above and beyond, and I'm super impressed. So Dave, thank you very much for helping me out in getting this done. Now, another thing we've got is we have the pilot and co-pilot on the side. So top one is obviously me. The bottom one is Marcus, which you guys already know. So essentially what we're going to be doing is I'm just going to finish packing the cars. We have another couple of people coming. So we've got my father-in-law, Michael, who's going to be driving the Hilux. And then we have my mate Andrew and his wife Elle, who's going to be traveling in something quite special. So I'll show you guys that a little bit later on. But let's keep packing. Let's get everything underway so we can get going shortly.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you.
We have the crew here now.
How are you?
This is the big dog, Andrew.
How are you, man?
Good, mate. You?
Yeah, good.
That's the way.
Yeah.
G'day.
G'day, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm
good.
going to have to tilt the GoPro down to see you over my bonnet.
Possibly. Possibly. At least you won't get blinded by my light bar.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I think, what light bar?
So this is the big rig that he's going to be taking.
Yeah.
Big 79.
Yeah, the big 70. Well, 79, 78.
Yeah, 78, I
Yeah,
guess.
troopy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're all clean. We're all ready to go.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's bang on 12. How's that?
Sweet as.
Sweet. So let's jump in the cars. Let's head up there. All right, folks. So we are making our way up to Newcastle now. Currently sitting at a set of traffic lights waiting to jump onto the freeway. As you can hear, I am losing my voice. I have been sick the last couple of days, so hopefully today, tomorrow, gets better and you can actually hear me properly. So enjoy the ride, enjoy the trip, and we'll see you when we get to Newcastle. We made it. My brother from another mother.
How are you, man?
Good, man. You?
Spent.
Yeah? Pretty worn out.
Cool.
So guys, in case you don't know, this is Rowan from Self-Restoration Society. He's made it, his old girl. She's just as good in real life as what she is in pictures. How's our drive, everyone?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You see that Mustang?
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, how good was that? That was sick. I saw it the last second, yeah.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Sometimes when we left your place and you go through the back end,
Yeah.
your radio thing was cutting in and out.
Yeah. I don't think the range is that big on it,
Well,
so.
I didn't sort of answer.
Yeah. I just need a bigger aerial. All right, we got one more person, and we should be ready to check in. Andrew's 78 series Troopy, the camper top, running 35s. This thing's an absolute beast. Love it. Well folks, that is it for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in. We essentially got here to Newcastle. We're in the apartment building of the hotel at the moment, out at Wallsend. We are starting at Cameron Park tomorrow, so it's not far from where we're actually staying, which is really good. Essentially we got here, we met up, we then went into town, went and had a few beers, met up with the director Evan of the Rylstone Classic. We went into Newcastle, took a couple of happy snaps, and then spent the evening driving around, and now we're heading back for a couple of beers and then off to bed and start the journey tomorrow morning for officially day one of the Rylstone Classic for 2023. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow on another episode of Tomo's Tune-Ups.